final season of Outlander is upon us, so let's talk about potential storylines. First up, Jamie and Claire. As we know, all roads and plot lines will be surrounding Jamie and Claire for this final season. Very early on, we should get resolution to the Faith storyline, and hopefully that resolution will be Jamie telling Claire that she's losing it, or Claire waking up and realizing that this was all a fever dream. Then we can move on to the actual plot points of this time period in the books. Jamie and Claire, along with Ian and Rachel and Fanny, should return to the Ridge so that Claire can continue to heal. Claire will be gifted a beehive from John Quincy Myers that comes with a blessing and a foreshadowing to Jamie's, in my mind, death. We should see the new big house and a lot more development on the Ridge, such as churches and other homes. The Ridge and its tenants play a big role in this timeline, so we should see a lot of things taking place on the Ridge. Shortly after they return to the Ridge, William will visit, but not before meeting up with a new character for show watchers, Amaranthus Grey, who I am assuming they are going to introduce as William's cousin's widow. Now, her husband, Ben, is William's cousin in the books, but he's actually alive. He's a deserter. There's a huge storyline. I don't think the show is going to tap into that, so I digress. William will come to the Ridge to ask Jamie for his aid in rescuing Lord John, who has been captured by Ezekiel Richardson. Now, I've done a million videos on Ezekiel Richardson, aka Mike Callahan, who is a time traveler trying to change history by persuading Hal's votes in Parliament by capturing Lord John and blackmailing him. I'm not sure how deep they will go into that storyline, but my guess is we will see Lord John be rescued by Jamie and William, and William and Jamie will bond on their mission, and all three of them will make up, and John and William will go back with them to the Ridge. I can totally see the show pulling a William and Amaranthus love story and have them ending up happily ever after. Roger and Brianna will return to the Ridge fairly early in this season. If they follow the books, Brianna is sick with AFib, which is a heart condition, and she is pregnant with her third child, which will be a son named Davy, who cannot travel and will seal their fate with regards to time travel. Brianna should travel with Roger to do a painting upon a request made through Jamie and get caught in a battle, and they will also visit Savannah and see a fire. Meet another new character on the Ridge named Captain Cunningham, and we will meet his mother Elsbeth as well. They both deeply impact Roger and Jamie. Not sure how they're going to play this out. This is a very in-depth storyline, and we only have 10 episodes, but I will say he will be the villain of season 8 for sure. Marcelly and Fergus are back, and this is a particularly painful part of the story for them. Based on the trailer and the limited episodes, I'm assuming they are going to combine two big fires that take place at the print shop, and we will unfortunately see Marcelly and Fergus lose their son, Henri. Fergus should also learn from Percy Wainwright, aka Beecham, that he is the son of Amelie Beecham and the Comte Saint-Chamond, and therefore an ancestor to Claire. A very full circle moment that I don't see them leaving out of the show. Ian and Rachel should be living on the Ridge with their baby. Ian's son, Swiftest of Lizards, aka Totus in the books, should be living with them on the Ridge as well, but my guess is the show will not cover that. Biggest moment of the season should be Jamie going up to the battle on King's Mountain and dying, and it being foretold in Frank's book, which Bree brings back to the Ridge. They're hearing about his injuries, going up the mountain with Roger and Ian, bringing Jamie back, saving him, depending on how you interpreted that chapter, will be a huge plot line. Now, how the show will handle this is beyond my comprehension because they've not introduced Claire's blue light healing power or any of the magical elements of the story. They're probably just going to have her perform some extraordinary surgery that no one has ever done before to save him, which in my opinion will cheapen the most significant moment of the story to date. In the moment that Claire saves Jamie on King's Mountain, she should come into her full white hair and fulfill Adawahi's full white hair coming into your power prophecy. Those should be the biggest plot points that we see. Now, I go back and forth on how the show will wrap up because I know it's not going to be at all like the books. I know it's going to have an entirely separate ending, And I know that the books are not done, so they may leave it open-ended to come back later for a movie, but they need to wrap it up as a whole. I do think Jamie's ghost will either be explained as one of his telepathic visions, or we are going to get a rewind sequence and start over in that moment that we saw in season 1. I definitely think the show is going to play into it all being a loop in a circle that starts all over. I also think that there is potential that it will end with Claire dying, Jamie burying her at the stones, planting the forget-me-nots, and waiting for Claire to see if she will ever come through the stones one more time, as we get a voiceover from either Claire or Mandy saying, "People disappear all the time." What I would absolutely love, though, is a pan out of Mandy in the future driving Bree's Mustang on the ridge and learning that Bree's vision in the book was the future of Mandy traveling. Her traveling through time with the guidance of Master Raymond and telling the story of her family, the original time travelers, and how the Time Traveler's Guide to the Galaxy was written.